All right, rings. Okay, join us. Family friendly. Yeah, censorship at its finest here. Yeah, not gonna go into details. I'm not gonna say anything that I want to say because this platform will spin it just like it's spun everything else. So, um, yeah, family friendly. So UFO disclosure, Arcturian portals, Elysium. That's from the movie. It's a dystopian reality where it's like the good people are out in space and everybody else is on Earth. We're not going to that direction, but we're just tapping into that. It just kind of came up like a parallel realities that's going on right now. However you want to look at it. And Atlantis channel, you haven't channeled Atlantis actually in quite some time. Who knows? Yeah, with the censorship that's going on now, I don't know. I could be wrong. I'm not 100%. Somebody for me to prove it. I feel like they have lightened it up recently. I could be wrong because YouTube's going through a CEO switch. They might have guns might be down. They might be chilling out. Maybe so much corruption. It's so corrupt. Anyway, without going into that, I'd like to say more on that, but anyway, we're not going to. So basically, like our sun is a portal, oceans are a portal, lakes are a portal, forests are a portal, things like that. Of course, the aliens do connect to the energies of like a mountain, forest areas, and so on. Yeah, I heard this story. I've heard this a while back about how the aliens brought their ships here and then they destroyed their ships so they could be Native Americans. I'm not sure how true that would be. It's like even Native Americans have a lot of drama here. At least they do now, but they can always incarnate here and see what they've gotten themselves into, but I don't know why that's coming to mind. So yeah, for this world to evolve and go to the next level, it's very simple. Just be open-minded and out with all this drama. As you can see, many have to go through their internal drama. It's always some of this is that what you don't have, what you wish you did have, and so on. If you heal that internal trauma or trauma, that's where the world can evolve. You're not letting those things hold you down anymore. You can move up a level, but obviously society's not doing that. It's yeah, it's doing what it does best. So that's all you can do is just be yourself and not worry about it. So I told the economy private sessions, a scheduler, we have a shop here. I'm somewhere, I don't know where. Webinar this week, social network, behind the scenes. Okay. Yeah, healing internal conflict. Easier said than done, especially if you're in a timeline shift and there's entities here that don't want you to get there. Get energy attacks and all that. So yeah, it's not easy. You can't see these beings that are here. But that's why you're here to advance and become more aware of it. So, all right, I'm going to the Arcturian energies, the Elysium and the Atlantis frequencies, and see what comes through. The cats are here. They're beauty sleep and all that. I'm not sure what they're doing. So they're here somewhere. Fritzy's hiding. I know where one of them is. I can hear one of them. So just make sure I'm not going to fall off the chair. Okay, all right, blessings. Here we go. Greetings, we have Arcturians. Blessings. Send you energies. Yes, there's actually a lot of Palladian frequency here because of the alien disclosure by those Arcturian beings. Yes, we snuck in or we got invited here. Greetings. So yes, connected to your origins, not always the easiest because many of you do come from other universes, and for that knowledge to come through, you basically you get to a level of this incarnation for more of your origin realities become more clear. As you got to earn it basically. As to the portals that are here, yes, it actually rain is a portal. Clouds have portal energies. You can say they have portal technologies if you really want to go into that level. Some of you have actually lived on clouds, cloud cities, cloud realities, planets filled with clouds, and so on. Yeah, it's basically just a fluffy person, a fluffy being. But there can be some conflict there. Yes, there are giants that do live on the cloud realities. At least it seems like that in your reality, but the Jack and the Beanstalk reality, there is such a thing that does exist, of course. And if you had seen cities in the skies, like in China, which China is just allowing that to be seen. And sometimes those places need to be shown to give you. It's not your government doing that. It's literally cities in the sky. Those are coming from parallel realities. So it's just connecting more to, you're what we call it fantasy, but it's actually more connecting more to your root chakra, connecting more to yourself, just basically allowing yourself to be more of you. Yes, many of you had elf ears, pointed ill ears. Those are the realms that you're used to. If you looked more like where you came from, it'll become easier to remember yourself. So if you came from an Agarthian realm, if you looked like an Agarthian being, it would just make life a lot easier. To some level. Of course, it can cause more frustration, actually. But you can't win them all. But a lot of the portal energies are also within the volcanoes. Yeah, it's the Earth letting out frustration. The Earth also testing humanity. Yes, your earthquake that happened in Turkey. There's different reasons for it. Yes, you say there are some there's technology connected to it, but it's also just there is many reasons behind it. You can say the majority of the versions that you're seeing that are true. So many different ways of looking at it. But some of those beings are needed somewhere else. Another Earth needs them. Some might have difficulties understanding that. But even those that have died in your life, some of them, yes, sometimes they're needed that version of that soul is needed somewhere else, either in the spirit realm or another version of Earth or wherever it might be. And some of you guys have a continuation from this Earth to another Earth. And without going into the spirit realm. Technically, you're always in the spirit realm, you just don't remember. But your soul journey has different routes to take. Some of you are used to living in a star, a sun energy, and yes, it can look like a world like this. Doesn't mean you might feel like you're physical, but you really aren't. I mean, you have more powers, but you are a version of physical, but not like this. But then again, it can world like you're living in a sun or any world for that matter. It can feel very similar to this, but just more people have more of their powers. Not everybody, but few. Eventually, you'll see that it's like a more evolved reality. And yours is getting there. It just has to heal all this hostility. That's the inner conflict, not the easiest thing to release. Well, the beings here, the reptilian beings, and all the other ones that are here are testing humanity to make sure that you can achieve your higher dimensional self, which some of you are getting used to. Basically, your school systems will change over time. Over time, maybe even in your lifetime, to more allow more metaphysical points of view. They already do about religious studies, but metaphysical is kind of hidden. Of course, you have the occult studies, and that can cause more difficulties and put you further backwards because a lot of that goes into the lower dimensions. But eventually, your school systems will become more aware of metaphysics. Not that it'll have all the answers, but will help humanity evolve a little bit quicker. Well, in some respects, it won't save the world, but at least it will become more less, hidden, as more of your scientists acknowledge the soul, which many do not. They acknowledge the unknown, a spiritual unknown, and become more spiritual. Which some are. They're just that academically they're not quite there yet. Well, because they become successful as a physical being. And all this non-physical, it just, to them, it doesn't make any sense because it's not a physical thing they can imagine. But even your archaeology is becoming more metaphysical. And slowly, as humanity evolves, these sacred sites will show you more. But they just don't feel like humanity is ready yet. So, blessings. Greetings. We have the consciousness of Elysium, a version of Earth that is possible for your world, not likely to happen on this planet, but it just shows that other realities are speaking to yours, especially the ones that have been through a great deal of hostility. And, some of them live in the slums in this reality. Yes, are used in, yes, not always the easiest to define everything, but there are versions of Earth that are more difficult than yours. And Elysium is giving you an insight into that. Not that you have to focus too much on it, but it just gives you, like, you think this world is difficult, it can be much harder. Yes, where the elites have really gotten to the level where they can't even live on this planet anymore. They have to be in space. But that also makes them exposed also. They can't hide anymore. At least in your world, they can hide. Yes, the darker elites, yes, live in your slums, technically. Well, around it, more in the hostile areas for protection. Yes, but they created the cartels. So, but they're also wise to the cartels. They know what they're capable of. They know how to keep them happy, at least for now. But society itself has to rethink itself, rethink what's going through it, and try to teach humanity on a global scale is unlikely. These are so many manipulations that are going here. Everyone lives things differently. Now, if everyone started having the same experiences, like on an alien level, a galactic level, then your world will begin to change. It will begin to shift. But and that can happen, but it's not happening now. It's basically become more on the same page. Obviously, there'll be some trying to hold that back, but eventually you'll feel the energy speeding up, getting faster. But many of you go into the spirit realm to assist this world because it's so lost. But many of you are becoming more advanced, at least to a level where you can keep your own sanity. But the Elysium realities are, yes, think about worlds that are completely slum planets. Yes, not an easy. Your zombie realities are probably more pleasant than the slum realities. Because at least the zombie realities, it's like they're already lost, they're already gone, and for the zombie people. And there's only a few people left. But the slum realities of Earth is nobody's going anywhere. And people are fully aware of their situation. Sometimes it's better being a zombie and being zoned out and just checked out, which many here on your planet are that way currently. So I haven't learned from their mistakes. Don't plan on doing so. It doesn't matter how much wealth you have. Sometimes the more wealth you have, the less you learn. As some of you realize, of course, when you're poor, well, just when you're poor, the lessons are harsher, but you learn faster because it's harder on you. It does speed things up. When you have wealth, you can keep making the same mistake as long as you can afford it. Not always. Your Ohio energy is showing darkness. It's what's going on in Ohio. Yes, it's showing some of your elites and putting a light. So that just shows the ignorance, the arrogance there that has to have some kind of attention of those running those rail companies. And also your government. Your government doesn't care. They can get away with pretty much anything. For now, at least. Yeah, it's a complacency. It's like a child, basically. They can get away with anything. That's pretty much the mentality. It's like an adult child. You see that. They don't like being told that. They don't want to hear that. Well, especially when they have all these big cars, big toys. It's just like a big kid. So things haven't changed much. But Elysium frequencies, it's just a harsh awakening. And it'll get easier, but sometimes they say see the darkness before you see the light, as many of you know. So, Green Sea, we are the Atlantean consciousness. You're still learning from our mistakes. There's some remnants of our frequency here. Yes, of course, our rituals are still here in the physical. There is our DNA, of course, is here too, especially some that are very aquatic, meaning like people that can swim very well. Just have a connection to the ocean. That is an Atlantean DNA. There's a Lemurian energy. There was also an Atlantean. Basically, Atlantean DNA is kind of like, as you would call, like an enhanced being energy. So we did master that during our time period, and then it was lost, of course. So your super soldier is basically there's remnants or origins to your Atlantean experiments, and of course, all was lost because of that. Now you're seeing parallel realities, where there's super soldier realities, but some aren't really ready to accept this reality just yet. They are, but they're still healing the conflicts, yes, from where they died in a previous life, or just had conflict in another life they haven't quite made peace with yet. So some are just, when you become those that become intoxicated, yes, you get very lost very easily. You can almost like reset your life a couple of times and not even realize it. It's alcoholism is like a soul trap. You think you're leaving this world, you end up stuck here for a long time. So they don't even realize it. So yes, you can kind of be human. Like you hear about ghosts being lost here, but you can be a human and be lost here also. Technically, some have a definition of that, but there's actually a deeper definition of it. Like some feel like they're awakened, but they're actually more lost and don't even realize it. It goes that deep. And the realization of that isn't, well, they feel like they're awakened, so I'm going to be finding higher dimensions and all that. Some they're not realizing they'll probably have several more incarnations to go here. They just don't want to think about it. Why would you? They feel like they've advanced themselves enough, but not always. Yeah, the mind can play tricks on. It happens all the time. Atlanteans had that many times. Atlanteans have created many cults, but they became lost. So all these other groups, splinter groups, you can say, started taking over society. or we became so lost, so delusional, we didn't know where we're going anymore. That's where the split of Atlantis is basically different ideas, belief systems, where we just lost our way. Our foundations were now going in different directions, like on your world, because everybody's on a different page. Not everybody, but quite. Society is always going in their direct outside, going just splitting around. You're all coming back to so basically the idea is yes, for you all to be on the same page worldwide. Not easy, but basically you have you can always have your different points of view. That's quite fine, but you have your center point, meaning like you all come together. The whole world comes together. You really feel that energy within the planet itself. Like it's okay to have different points of view. That's just fine. But you have like a center point where you're human, you're sovereign beings, and you put your differences aside and you just come together and you feel the unity of the earth, and you feel human consciousness, and you feel your world shifting in a higher realms. Basically, you let your problems you let it step aside. And that's the higher dimensional frequencies. And some of you can feel that even as we speak about it, most likely. Some have no idea what they're talking about. They're still going through inner conflict. Yes, on another planet or several planets, wars that have not quieted down. Yes, if you're looking for drama, there's most likely excitement there. There's still some balancing that needs to be done. Not quite there yet. Well, you come to the center. Basically, it's like the center of the earth. Technically, society centers itself. Like basically, it's like you go into your heart chakra. You can say the heart chakra of the planet, but society connects to the heart chakra itself, and the whole planet begins to change. It's like now you're ready to go to the higher dimensions. The world just changes with you, and you know it can be all right. It's kind of like you're on a plane. You can say, but you all have control of the controls, but you know what direction you're going in. Like y'all are agreed upon, you're going to the same place. So that's what you're working towards. But as you can see, the world is very scattered and will continue to be scattered. It's a scattered, you might as well call it the scattered planet. Not necessarily the lost planets. It's kind of more just scattered. It's probably a better word for it. Of course, a lot of your words to help you unite have been removed from this planet, but you can make up for it. There's a lot. Yes, the language has been tampered with, but you still have enough to get yourselves together. The entire planet can shift. You're working towards that now. To have a year like 2037 or whatever year people are manifesting, why wait? It can happen now. You're here. Yeah, obviously, well, anything can happen. Basically, yes, you can connect more to your higher consciousness and shift out of this reality right now. Without going into details of how that works. But the world's problems has a reason for it. Yeah, some of this isn't your war. Some of it's others that are what they're going through. It's like, like a teacher. It's like, you're helping the earth. You might not know who your students are, but these lessons are not yours. But you came here to assist the earth. You put the vibration out. You put your knowledge out there that you are 10, 20 years in the future. And the earth feels that. Now, does it listen? Does humanity listen? No. Sometimes it does. A lot of times it's not ready for it. But you are setting up your future reality currently. Just by the vibrations they're putting out there, you're setting the stage currently. So it's up to you what you go through, of course, what you want to, many are so going through a lot of inner conflict and they don't even know it. So many souls just got here. They've never been through a world like this. They feel like they have it all figured out. When there's just much more to understand. They're just There's no easy way for this world to evolve. Well, it can be, but society is not making it easy.